Hi everyone, it's me. If you're new here, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I live here in the UK. And if you're not new here, hey, how's it going? Thank you for coming back. I know you didn't have to, and I really appreciate that you did. My YouTube channel asks the question, what does it mean to be British? And I'm still figuring that out. But one thing I do know is that the Brits are very funny. I love the British sense of humor. There's nothing else like it. Do you know what I mean? And as we explore British comedians, British sense of humor, today we are talking about Sarah Millican. So I thought we'd just hang out and watch some bits and pieces. Hopefully this doesn't get copyright blocked. If you never see this, well, I guess I'm just talking to myself. Leave a comment down below. Sarah Millican, your type of comedy? No? Yes? Maybe? In between? No. You have to say yes or no. No sitting on the fence. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, this first one is from Universal Comedy, Very Best of Sarah Millican. Let's give it a go.
I've been trying to think of different things that I've done since the last time I was on tour. And one of those things is that I got married. Oh, thanks. And there's obviously loads of things I love about my husband. I'll tell you a couple of them. One of the things I love about my husband is that one time when he went food shopping, he came home with 18 tins of custard. Now, who doesn't love that? But I did question the amount. I said, why 18 tins? He said there was an offer on. He fucking loves a bargain. I said, what was the offer? He said, buy one, get one free. I said, still, why 9 tins? I only had one banana. And I didn't want to eat it on its own, because then it's fruit, not pudding. That's no good, is it? But I chose to say it a different way. I thought maybe this is a longevity thing. Maybe he thinks we're going to be together a long time. 18 tins of custard long. Turns out 18 tins of custard only lasts a fortnight.
Is there anything more British than a comedian making a joke about custard? Okay, I've jumped ahead to her next set of this compilation.
We went on holiday last year. My husband and I went to New York, did a lot of walking around New York. We developed kind of a playful competition regarding our steps. We don't have Fitbits, anything fancy like that, just the app on our phones we were using. At the end of every day, we compare numbers. And generally, he'd done about 2,000 more steps than I had every single day. And I couldn't figure out why we're spending all of our time together. All I was thinking was, what the fuck is he doing while I'm in the bath? He's just standing outside the bathroom door doing this. So the last night before I went home the following morning, it came to a bit of a head. I said, how many steps have you done? And he'd done 15,000 and something, and I'd done 13,000 and something. And I said, you know what? I don't know why this is happening, but I don't like it, and I don't think it's fair. And as I was talking to him, he started to walk towards me, and I said, oh, before you come in here, will you get us a glass of water? And he went and got us a glass of water, and then I said, I think I've left my book over there. And I thought, fuck, that's what it is, isn't it? It's 2,000 bossy steps every single day. But while we were in New York, we saw a couple of shows. Now, if I'd known it was going to be as emotional a show as it turned out to be, I wouldn't have worn quite so much eye makeup, rookie mistake. And I'm a crier. I cry at loads of things. I cried at this show basically from 8 minutes into it until it finished. But when it came to the interval, the queue for the ladies' loo was huge. And I said to my husband, do us a favour, save me getting in that queue. Will you just check me face? Just check me face, check under my eyes, have a look to see if there's anything that needs sort of urgently fixing. And again, he can't just glance and glance away. He had to start scanning from the top of me head. It's like going out with a fucking Terminator. He said, it's all black under your eyes. And I thought, bloody mascara. So I remembered I had a compact mirror in my handbag. I got it out and I had a look. And my makeup was perfect. What he'd spotted there is how old and tired I am.
From what I can tell, a lot of her jokes are more sort of story-based. We've done a couple comedians on the channel so far. And obviously, like, jokes are at the base of it are all stories, but some are like quite short. So like people that come to mind, Jimmy Carr, I feel like his are just like more like one-liners, two-liners, very short, just kind of brutal, shocking, short. Whereas I feel like Sarah Millican, it's more conversational stories, sort of everyday story type stuff. So I think I found the start of her next story. Fingers crossed. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. I really appreciate it.
We do watch a lot of films. Watched Iron Man when it was on the telly not long ago. If you don't know it, Iron Man is a superhero film. It's not really my cup of tea, but I do quite like Robert Downey Jr. in a white vest. Tick. Yeah. partway through the film, I leant over to my husband and I went, you should get a white vest. And he went, oh, would you like that? I was like, yeah, I think I would. He was like, maybe I'll get a white vest then. And then later on in the film, something technical happened and they needed to fix it with tools. And I leant over to my husband and I went, you should get a tool belt. And he went, would you like that? I was like, yeah, I think I would. He was like, maybe I'll get a tool belt then. And then I entirely forgot my train of thought. And I went, oh, then you could do that big list of jobs I've got. I think that's my ideal porn film, is just the fixing, not the fucking. Just the fixing, not the fucking. I'd love to watch one where he fixes his washing machine and then just leaves because he's got another job on. The washing machine works for years and years and years. Just the fixing, not the fucking. That's what I want. To be fair, that's what Jimmy Savile should have stuck with as well, but anyway.
I was gonna say, a lot of her stories, I guess in comparison, we talk about Jimmy Carr as like he tries to be as obscene as possible, right? Like as like offensive, and where Sarah Millican feels like very everyday stories, not so offensive. And then we get a Jimmy Savile joke just thrown right in there. She's awesome. I'm gonna see her as soon as she's anywhere near where I live. Oh, leave a comment down below. Have you ever seen her live? The only comedian that I've seen live was James Acaster. James Acaster, this was years ago now, came to Kent, and I love James Acaster. I think that type of humor, like, genuinely is so funny, and he is really good live if you have a chance to see him. Wonderful. Great night out. She has me crying laughing. She is fantastic. Lovely lady. Gets her observations. Oh, yeah, observational comedy, I guess is what you'd call that. Oh, this is fun. Hi from Mound, Minnesota. Always enjoy your work, Sarah. Okay, here's another question. If you like answering questions, how many non-Brits know who Sarah Millican is? Because I wouldn't have said that she would be super well known outside of the UK. Next up, I found this, the best stand-up comedy ever. This is posted by the Sarah Millican channel, so I hope she doesn't mind us watching a couple of jokes. We're not gonna watch all of it, of course. Hot take alert. If you react to someone's entire video, that is not a fair use reaction. That is stealing. Anywho, let's see this first joke.
But I always get annoyed by my period. I've had my period for over 30 years. I've never wanted children, not a moment, not a flicker. I'm sure a lot of you have got kids and you're having a great time with them, and that's smashing for you. It's not for me. It's not for me at all. The best way I can describe how annoyed I get every time my period starts is like this. Imagine you've got a friend at work. She's called Deborah. She's great. Deborah's got a rabbit hutch, and every month she cleans it out. Puts fresh bedding in, fresh water in the water bottle, fresh food in the food bowl. Looks spotless, amazing, spick and span. And you say to her, Deborah, are you ever going to get a rabbit? She goes, nah, I fucking hate them. That's what periods are to me. I feel like I'm making up the guest bedroom for a visitor that will ruin my fucking life.
Oh, wow, this is an old one. So this is from the same compilation. This looks much older. I'm very excited to see how this is different from some of the more modern stuff that we've seen so far.
But you know, we're all getting older. I turned 39 this year. I'm not worried about turning 40 next year. I'm not worried about getting older at all. And I think that's because I have good friends in their 40s, 50s, 60s. My parents are sort of late 60s, early 70s. And they all seem to be having quite a nice time. What I see as my future is not a scary one. My parents have this thing that I think happens to a lot of people when they retire. Is all of a sudden they can see their friends a lot more often. They can do hobbies they've never had time for. And they're so busy, they think to themselves, how on earth did we fit work in? Which must be a lovely state of affairs, mustn't it? My mum was showing us her diary because she said it was chock-a-block. She said, look at this. She said we were going to go and see Oliver the musical that day, but we can't because we forgot we had Swan Lake booked in at the Empire. She's only this tall. She looked up at me with this face that I adore and she went, I haven't got time to die. I said, I don't think that's how it works, Mum. Just the Grim Reaper standing behind and she's going, I can't do October. I can't do November. I want to see Tony Bennett in November. The Grim Reaper's like, Tony Bennett, I've been after him for years. But I know getting older is no plain sailing. I know that there are problems along the way. One of my friends is in her 60s. Have we got any women who are 60 or above? Give us a cheer. A few of you, so maybe you can vouch if this is true or not. One of my friends, she's 62, and she said, there's something I need to tell you. I said, that sounds really serious. Is it serious? She said, Well, I just don't want it to come as much of a surprise to you as it did to me. I said, okay, well, you better tell us what it is then. She said, when you get to my age, down there, instead of it being a lovely, healthy pink colour, I could have walked away right then and there. Whatever you've got, I don't want to know. Instead of it being a lovely, healthy pink colour, it's more of a slate grey. It's the detail that I love. She didn't say grey, she said slate grey. Like she'd had the Dulux colour chart out.
Where is Sarah Millican from? That might be a very obvious question. I wouldn't be able to place that accent. She also has like a very interesting voice, and maybe that is annoying to some people because I can kind of see maybe that could be a little bit annoying. I think she's wonderful. Where's she from? Sarah Millican. She's 50 now, eh? South Shields. Fascinating. She's married to Gary Delaney. Oh, I think I've seen him. She worked as a civil servant at a job center. Fascinating. Her debut Edinburgh Festival Fringe show won the IF Comedy Award, Best Newcomer in 2008. That is so fun. South Shields. Never heard of it. That picture looks nice, though. Next up, I found this one. This is also from Sarah Millican. It's the same outfit as one of the sets we've saw before, so this must be from like the same show. So we'll just watch a couple of this one.
Did anybody find in the last few years we've been dealing with all the COVID shite, anybody find that every now and again they felt like they were going a little bit mad? Yes. So overwhelmed is probably a better word. I'd feel a bit overwhelmed and I'd do a thing that I thought would help. Let me tell you a few of the things I tried. First thing I tried, I bought some seeds. Do you remember there was a while back there when food was so scarce we all thought we were going to have to grow it all ourselves? I bought some seeds. My friend quite rightly pointed out that seeds only really grow fruit and vegetables. I thought, what fucking use is that to me? Where are the seeds for the Twixes and the toilet rolls and the microwave dinners? That's what I need. Does anybody want to hazard a guess how many seeds I actually planted? None, thank you, none. There's a man the other day shouted out 2, which has got to be the weirdest suggestion of all. Sounds like I just tripped when I got out the car and a couple accidentally landed in the ground. Here
is the start of what I believe to be a next story setup.
Give me a word if you came here tonight with a family member. And if you came with a friend. Ooh, there's not as many with friends, but you're more enthusiastic. That's interesting, isn't it? The people who came with a friend, is anybody in a really long friendship? Give me a wave if you are. We've got people there. Oh, right in the front. How long have you two been friends? 15 years. Thank you for that. There was a lady the other day, shouted out 45 years. I said, wow, where did you meet? And she went, at birth. So it's not your fucking mum, is it? I hear people are like that. My mum's my best friend. Yeah, you're not hers. I have friends from comedy, friends from other jobs that I found. I don't have any friends from school. You wouldn't think you'd know why, but I know exactly why. When I was a kid and my birthday rolled around, my mum would say, would you like a party? Now, you have to remember that kids' parties when I was a child, very different to kids' parties. Now, for example, I have a friend who has an 8-year-old daughter. For her last birthday party, they hired somebody to do manicures and also a hot tub. So what the fuck are you doing? You're not Kardashians. But if you've got little ones now, maybe this is the kind of elaborate party that you have to put on. Maybe you hire a venue. Maybe somebody does the catering. Maybe a man you don't know comes in a weird outfit and plays with your children for money. You can call him a clown if you like, but my description is still valid. Come on in, kids. Pedo the clown is around. We're pretty sure he's all right, but don't sniff his flower just in case. Offered to me in the 70s and the 80s would be this, 6 friends maximum. And that's the sort of amount I would have struggled to fill at that age. Somebody would have to bring their cousin just to make up the numbers. In your house, wasn't it always in your house, and your mum or a mum, someone's mum, would prepare the food. And by that I mean they would cut it all into cubes. So it could take part in the hedgehog. Anything that wasn't cut into cubes was cut on an angle, so you know you're at a party. That's how you know. I don't know if you know, but this works as an adult as well. If you're ever at somebody's house and you're like, is it a party? Is it not a party? Look at the food. Is it cut on an angle? You're at a fucking party. Or the biscuits fanned out on a plate. You're at a fucking party. You don't do that for yourself, do you?
She is so unapologetically honest about being herself and says things that all women relate to. We get so many unrealistic ideals from the media. It's women like Sarah that prove to us that being normal is good. And she's funny. Oh, she was on tour in Australia as well. She connects so well with the audience. She's a natural talent. Such a natural talent. Love her. Wow, I cannot read today. Don't worry about it. Okay, so this is from Jokes on Us. This looks like it's her full stand-up. Thoroughly Modern Millican 2012. Do you guys remember when the world was going to end in 2012 because of the Mayan calendar situation? I think I found the start of a story, the start of a joke set up. Let's have a look. 2012. Wow.
But I clearly get this cautious nature from my parents. When I was little and I wanted to play out, my mum would say, play out by all means in the back lane, but leave the backyard door open. And every 20 minutes, I want you to come past that backyard door and just give us a little wave so that I know you're all right. And she'd stand at that kitchen window for what seemed like hours just to make sure that I was safe. And I know it's just that if I ever got abducted, I'd never be further than Gateshead. It's quite satisfying to say that my parents haven't changed in the intervening 30 years. They came to stay with me a few months ago for the weekend, and on the Sunday night, they're packing up the car to go home. And my mum has what she calls her pretty woman bags, which you know, like the cardboard shopping bags as opposed to plastic ones. I'm glad that I know that's what she calls them, because a month before that, I'd been on the phone to her and she said, I've had a proper pretty woman day. And I thought, I hope you've been shopping and not just sucking off businessmen. She's retired, she's got a lot of time on her hands. But Pretty Woman for me is one of those films. I think we've all got one of those films where even if you've got the DVD, which means technically you could watch it any time you liked, if it's on the telly, you're watching it. And that's one of mine, and it was on not too long ago on ITV 2 plus 1 times 4.
I'll tell you what, too, the fact that 2012, so I think the Wikipedia said she won Best Newcomer in like 2008. And then a full show, 2012, and she's still touring now. Long, successful career. I see this short over here. I just want to watch this short real quick. The shorts are usually terrible, but I'm curious.
I've got one sister, it's just the two of us. My sister is 6 years older than me. When she was a teenager, she used to talk very slang, very Geordie slang, and my mum didn't like it, so my mum would correct her. And me being the little shitty sister, I would help. So if my sister said, I'm going out, my mum would correct her and say, I'm going out. My sister would have to repeat, I'm going out, before she was allowed to go out. And I'd just be standing beside them both saying, I'm going out, like the arsehole that I was. But this time my sister was really ill, she had a really bad finger. She went to hospital with my mum, they came back in from A&E. And I said to my sister, what's the matter with your finger then? And she said, oh, they said it's gangrene. And I genuinely said, going green? Like I probably thought a medical doctor had gone, that's gangrene, then it's gonna ganbroon, then it's gonna fall off. I've got one sister.
All right, that's not bad. Pretty much anytime I click on a YouTube short from just like a random channel, like not a channel that I actively follow, they're usually never good. That was pretty good. If you guys have a British comedian that you think I should check out, please leave a comment down below, or just leave a comment down below anyway, as long as it's nice, because nice comments are helpful and mean comments are annoying. If you'd like to watch something else, how about this one, the Jimmy Carr most offensive jokes one? That was pretty funny. Personally, I think Sarah Millican is funnier. It's not just like trying to say the most offensive thing, like it's the story, right? And it's the observation, and it's very relatable. But that's just my opinion. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!